It is 7:36. New data shows that 13 children aged 11 or under in England have died after falling from windows over the last 6 years.
It's shocking research, isn't it? And the people behind it have called the deaths, which mostly occurred in rented or in accommodation, temporary accommodation, entirely preventable. To explain, here's our reporter, Meghan Owen.
Frames fixed with duct tape. Thick black mould. Broken and missing handles in almost every flat we visited. Just some of the widespread window problems we found on this council estate in West London.
A death trap, that's the only way you could describe them.
Tracy has lived here for 5 years and says despite the council repeatedly telling residents they would replace the windows, they're still waiting.
They're totally unfit for purpose. They're unsafe. I'm frightened for my grandchildren when they come round here.
What's your biggest fear with these windows?
Somebody falling out of them, end of. That is it. They're not safe. Somebody falls out of them, they're dead.
So the gentleman living in this flat doesn't want to be on camera, but he did tell me that he'd had to repair this window himself with duct tape to close it shut. And that's because he was worried that his 9-year-old would fall out because there's no handles. He told the council time and time again that it needed fixing, but they just say it's not fixable.
13 children have died in falls from windows in England since 2019, according to a study into fatalities of very young and primary school-aged children. In most of the cases, the children lived in rented or temporary accommodation. In some cases, families had reported broken windows. Exodus Eob was almost 2 when he fell out of a window from the 7th floor of a tower block in Leeds 3 years ago. The restrictor on the window had been disengaged because it was a hot day. The inquest heard his family had complained about how wide the windows could open, but the coroner ruled the death accidental and that the windows were not defective. We've learnt that at Manchester Royal Infirmary, more than double the number of children attended with major trauma from a window fall between April and June this year than in any similar period since 2020.
This year there seemed to be more than usual, which was worrying us. A lot of these families do say to us when they come in that they already knew the window was a problem. They might have a broken window, or it might be that they'd identified that there wasn't a way of locking or securing the window, and they'd already raised that with their landlord or housing association, but action hadn't been taken in a timely way.
England's housing watchdog is calling for landlords to urgently address window safety concerns, comparing the problems to the scale of damp and mould issues in social housing.
I think landlords are ignoring some stark warning signs, and I think that's perilous to do so. I think there's fundamentally this ethical question about, is it right to leave someone with a window in a state of disrepair on the basis of doing works at a later date, even if there may be a lack of certainty about when that may be.
The body that represents housing associations says they're dedicated to making sure all residents are safe in their homes and recognise the importance of secure windows to ensure children's safety. The day after we filmed with Tracy, we contacted Hammersmith and Fulham Council, who sent a team of 20 officers to survey the windows, which found 6 urgent repairs were required. They say they're investing more than £1 million a week to refurbish and repair their ageing housing stock, part of a bold 3-year strategy that includes replacing every window that's reached the end of its life, adding the funding reflects their commitment to improving the quality of life of their tenants and leaseholders, ensuring every home is safe, secure and fit for the future. And as a responsible landlord, they're not just meeting the Housing Ombudsman's window safety standards, they're exceeding them. As the government consults on how to make windows safer, the deaths of 13 children from falls are a reminder of their perils. Meghan Owen, BBC News.
Let's return